Another great day to live the run. Paul Tarek here on ESPN 1280, The Ticket. I think I should have started the show here like this. Ding, ding. Round 2 without producer Max Woodcock. What are the chances we get through this without a TKO?
I'm gonna say slim to none, but hey, there's always a chance.
Hey, thanks for joining us. As always, try to get it rolling here. Without our producer, longtime producer Max Woodcock, up in Portland, doing well. Paul and I taking the show on by ourselves, taking the ranks by ourselves, trying to run this thing the best we can here on ESPN 1280 The Ticket.
I'm just here for moral support when the boards just go completely haywire. I'm just here to back you up emotionally.
Thanks. I may need it. We handle our emotions very well on this show, and one of the reasons is because we're thinking health and fitness all the time. One aspect being out there moving. I must say, super good to see a guy that I've been treating had a Achilles tendon injury, guy that's looking to get towards Ironman triathlons. Busted up his Achilles tendon, was out for a little while. Guy I saw running out there on my way here. Nice to see. And I tell you what, he was joined by a lot of folks out there today, running, riding. Great weather and slow. Great place to live the run.
Are you gloating? Is that what, did I just hear?
I'm
gloating?
I'm simply gloating because people get devastated mentally. And you know this, Paul. Debilitated when something they want to do they can no longer do, and in this case exercise for him, chance to compete. When you can't compete, when you're laid up and you can't do those things you want to do, has a big effect on your health.
No, I hear you say that, but what I really heard was, I fixed this guy and he's doing really well. That's what I heard. It was kind of like a subliminal, little subliminal message there.
Well, here's the reality. We fix nobody. The reality is that the body fixes itself. When given in the right position, you get the right signals, the tendons pull the right way, muscles work the right way, blood flow goes the right way. And, we're going to talk about that a lot today, and we talk about that all the time. When you give the body the right fuel, it works better. When you sleep, get the right rest, it works better. That's what we talk about on the show, everything health and fitness. No show like it on the Central Coast, Paul Tarek.
I don't want to inflate your ego too much, but that's actually what I tell people. I say, you got to go see my buddy Rex. He'll take care of you. His philosophy isn't, hey, great to see you. Let's set up a standing appointment. I'll see you 5 days a week for the next 9 years, and maybe, just maybe, something will happen. No, you want to get people, you want to put them in line, you want to make sure that their structure is good and that, everything is in alignment so the body can just do what it does naturally and repair itself. And if that's not the case and you can't do it, you're more than happy to refer them to a specialist or somebody that may be able to get them better. So not to get your ego too big too early in the show. But, I totally agree, and I think more people need to – everybody wants that pill. They want that. They want the pill, the advice, to something that's like the magic fix. And it's like, dude, just go back to the basics.
I got to give you a perfect example of that, Paul. I talked to a medical doctor, actually a guy who came in and was getting some work, and he's a super fit guy himself and takes care of himself, understands that his lifestyle is what most influences his health. And he kind of told me he wanted to go in incognito to a general practitioner and somebody who didn't know that he was a medical doctor himself. So he went in there and he did some lab work first, walked in, cholesterol numbers slightly above what the quote-unquote standard is, blood pressure slightly above. Doctor didn't really look at or talk to him much, just said, hey, I think I'd like to put you on these statin medications. And he said he kind of looked at him and said, well, you know that I do triathlons and the statins might affect my muscles and kind of poison my muscle cells, so I don't think I want to do that because I'd like to exercise. And he says, well, okay, well then maybe I'll give you these blood pressure medications at least. And he said, well, I don't think I really want to do that because I know that it can have an effect on the digestion and potentially give me acid reflux as a side effect. And he said, well, but there's a medication for that too. There's an acid reflux med. He said, yeah, but those are known to decrease my bone density and demineralize my bone. So I don't think I'd like to do that too. He says, I think I'm going to stick with triathlons. Thanks, doc. And, he kind of walked out the door. But it's that idea of just kind of pushing pills. And here was a really great guy that understood, as a doctor himself, I need to make those lifestyle changes to influence my health. I don't need a whole bunch more pills.
I think it's pretty safe to say that holistic medicine and letting the body heal itself, the free, natural way, is probably not the most profitable way. I mean, Pfizer's not out there going, hey, you know what? Let's design a workout regimen that's going to get you in shape and let the body heal itself. They're going to go, no, we got a pill that's going to fix your left arm. Well, that causes tingling in my right arm. We have an elixir for your right arm. Oh, well, that causes my left leg to go numb. Don't you worry. We have a balm for your left leg. It's like a snake oil salesman, It's something for everything. And as soon as like the blue pill doesn't work, we've got a violet pill. Take the violet pill.
Well, I want to clear up, too, on this show. It's a health and fitness show, and it's a show that oftentimes people get confused because we call it Living the Run. But really, again, that's a metaphor for life. We're on this journey of health and fitness, whether it's mental, whether physical, spiritual health, ourselves. It's not just a running show. We often talk about some of the races that have been out there, different races that come along. Wildflower was last weekend. We got things coming up in the future. A couple guests here in the future. I'm not sure quite how to say her name, but so I don't want to butcher it. But we got a 100-mile racer coming soon. Another century runner. We got that guy Thomas Rice. Remember Thomas Rice, Paul? He was the German. He's an ultramarathoner. He'd come on. I can't remember if it was Badwater or what it was that he had done. But this guy, check out the record he wants to try to set. He's going after the German record for the fastest 100 miles on the track. 400 laps, Paul. 400 laps on the track.
Wait, is it actual miles or metric here?
It's miles.
Oh, it's miles. So it's actually more than 400 laps then.
It'll be more than 400
laps. Yeah.
So 400 plus laps on the track. Tom, he was a great guest when we had him.
Is he just
funny
bored?
Guy.
I mean, does he have free time that he's looking to? He can volunteer at charities.
He's living the run. And if you ever get something that you want to talk to us about, you got guests that are doing great things. People who have great fitness stories, let us know. Go on to Twitter. Go on to livingtherun.com. Find us on Facebook.com/livingtherun. Leave us a message. We'll find these people. We'll get them on. Fascinating stories, fascinating things going on in the Central Coast. We're going to try to get this guy. We'd had the marathon goddess, remember, Paul, the 52 marathons in 52 weeks. There's a guy up there doing just for his health, I think he turned 52 maybe, doing 52 and 52. He's going to be doing 54 and 52. But, again, people doing some pretty amazing things. He was just in a local magazine. And always good stuff out there, not just a running show by any means. Health and fitness show all the way around.
He sounds like a one-upper, like maybe a two-upper. Oh, that girl did marathon goddess at 52. I can do 54.
Yeah, no question
she
about
did it first, buddy.
I'm trying to lure some people into this Scotts Valley race. They talk about it's the hottest race in North America. They're going, it's either June 30th, July 30th, something like that. They start the race, I think it's about a 10-miler. They start the race at about noon or 1. They're hoping to get the temperatures around 120, 125.
That's Pozo. That's the Pozo 5K. That's the hottest race in America. I ran that 1 year. Never again.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I'll
again.
drive through there at that time of day again. That was terrible. It was July 15th, something like that, July 10th, whatever, back in 03, whenever that, it was 110 degrees at like 9 o'clock in the morning. It was so hot.
That's awesome stuff. Well, as always, we try to make this a broad spectrum show, broad nutrition show, broad exercise show, leave you with something every night that you can take home for that next day. Our guest in studio right now, been with us once before, thankful to have him again. Gabriel Frank, Gardens by Gabriel. Gabe, nice to have you in here as always.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
it's up with it. Hey, only one glip there. Gabe actually talked, but this microphone wasn't on.
Hey,
there he is. Oh, Gabriel Frank, Gardens by Gabriel. We'll talk all kinds of topics. Hopefully, we'll talk a little oasis in your backyard. Talk what's the dirt on dirt. How do we get edibles? But let's see. I think we should be having Virginia here pretty soon. Somebody how to take some of this local resources and go. Gabe, is there anything that we cannot grow in San Luis Obispo? I mean, this is the big question. Is there anything that doesn't grow on the Central Coast?
Rice.
Yeah, I'd be hard pressed. I mean, there are a few crops, but I think 95% of really what you want to grow, it's right here.
It's all here, right? I mean, there's just we have virtually no limitations here on the Central Coast, and that's a huge thing. Right now, Virginia, we have you every week. Last week, Paul was super disappointed because there was no grub in studio. he was extra hungry, but you went over and above this week. Tell us about some comfort foods. I know you want to talk about comfort foods. We want to talk with Gabe in studio about comfort foods as well. Comfort in your backyard, how to get these combinations from the backyard or front yard to the kitchen. Talk about what you got for us this week.
As long as Paul shares. I don't know if he's going to, but hopefully he will share all that wonderful stuff, which is all local. We've got a grass-fed teriyaki beef with asparagus and blueberries with some green cabbage. And the reason why we have this evening is because this is actually an ideal comfort food. It we were talking about people who get injured or something bad happens or they just had a bad day and it just sets them off. And the first thing they do is the pitfall of comfort food. They go, and, what do they get? They get a cupcake. They blog about the margarita and the queso. There's a big pitfall there because those comfort foods are actually working on a very quick rise of your serotonin. And it's usually through carbohydrates or through sugars. And the reality is, in order for us to feel better, to feel good, we actually need some essential minerals, which are the B6s and the folates and any of the stuff that actually helps with the oxidative stress. So have you guys tasted the teriyaki?
Phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, the teriyaki is great, and I think that that's one thing that I know we're going to want to talk more about later on, especially is sauces. I think that's where a lot of people struggle is, I have my healthy vegetables, I have my healthy meat, but I want to flavor it up, and I'm kind of tired of just basic salt and pepper. This teriyaki sauce is great.
So that's a great point. So that teriyaki sauce, the combination of that, it is handcrafted, are some local oranges and lemons, actually, I believe, from Rex's tree, and ginger, as well as raw honey. And the reason why that teriyaki sauce has that base is a lot of times our mood instability when we're not feeling well is actually because it's our body's way of telling us we're getting sick. And a lot of times I tell people when you don't know why, but you're just agitated, you come home and you just don't feel good, to listen to your body, and instead of going for those starches and those complex carbohydrates and those sugars, treat your body like you would if you were getting a cold. Because it might be your body cueing off that something's not working right. And that's why you're hypersensitive to the environment. So, yes, sauces, really treating the food so it tastes good, so that it's literally yummy, is also part of that thing that helps the serotonin spike in our brain. We eat something, we're excited about it, it tastes good, we numb over it, and all of a sudden we actually do have a natural antidepressant without being, the doctor's pushing those pills. You can do it yourself.
Brilliant stuff, as always, there when it comes to the serotonin thing. I mean, that's one of the big topics out there right now, right? Is those are some of the most prescribed medications out there, the SSRIs, if you will. We've talked a little bit about exercise, movement, how that can get your serotonin going. But here's a classic example, Paul, and thanks a little bit to me again. I'm going to pat myself on the shoulder again. I contributed the lemons to this thing.
Don't pull them up. You contribute. Virginia has made it explicitly clear if she's out on a walk and she sees it, if you don't have your hand on it, she's probably going to pick one.
Yeah, no question. But, I like to say I contributed here just a little bit. But, I mean, good point, Virginia, that here's something, a natural way to use some basic foods to change your mood, or in this case, enhance your mood.
Yeah, and to also, again, the goal is not these quick fixes, and that's kind of what I think you guys were talking about with a more alternative, almost Ayurvedic approach. When you quick fix something, it's going to come out on the back end and somehow fail. So your system needs a constant mood stability, and you need to sort of investigate what foods you're putting in your body that aren't causing that huge load of glycemic load and the huge crash and the things that are making you go up and down. If you can put things in your body that actually help stabilize that and start to make your serotonin naturally rise and stay risen, you're going to find that going for that run is easier. It's not as exhausting. Waking up in the morning, dealing with, situations at work, it'll become much easier to deal with those things when your brain is naturally firing the way it's supposed to with the use of hormones and chemicals like serotonin.
Or having to sit in studio with Paul Tarek on a Wednesday night, whose mood often fluctuates, up and down a little bit.
Fluctuates from awesome to totally awesome.
We're stabilizing him out pretty good.
Yes, keep eating the beef.
I think the one thing to keep in mind with this is you can't just feel bad like tonight, hear this on the radio, go home and go, I'm going to try this, eat like one meal and go, you know what, it didn't fix it. I'm totally done. It's you got to be doing things 5-7 days minimum. Give your body a chance to clear everything out before you really start to notice any difference.
How about that plug for you, Virginia? There's a perfect plug. Vert Foods, do it for a week. Do it for a month.
For a week.
Do it for
it's
3 months.
It's
a challenge.
It's a real food challenge.
VertFoods.com. And then listen in tomorrow. You're going to be on the Dave Congleton Show, right?
I am at 4 o'clock from 4 to 5, and we'll be talking everything and anything about food and food myths and local food and the push for more sort of the local lore scene here and getting people more excited, which I'm sure Gabe will talk about the bounty that is here. And for whatever reason, we have not caught on the bandwagon here in SLO. So let's get everybody on the bandwagon and realize that asparagus is local. Those blueberries are local. You can buy it here. You don't need to buy it from Mexico.
Phenomenal stuff, as always. Thanks, Virginia. We'll talk to you next week. And thanks for controlling Paul's mood tonight for us.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Hey, good stuff as always. We're going to have more from Gabe from Gardens by Gabriel. We're going to talk some of those things that Virginia just talked about. How do we grow those things in our own garden? How do we start to do some of this stuff simply? How do we do it resourcefully and respectfully to the land? How do we not waste as we go forward, too? So more from Living the Run. We'll have Gabriel Frank from Gardens by Gabriel after the break.
You're listening to Living the Run on ESPN Radio 1280 The Ticket.
Hey guys, Paul Tarek from Living the Run here. As a former Olympian, there is only one place myself and fellow athletes go when it comes to chiropractic care on the Central Coast. With 4 chiropractors in the clinic, SLO Wellness Center is the largest, most comprehensive group of docs in San Luis Obispo County. I began seeing Dr. Rex Stevens back in 2005 for spinal adjustments to help maximize my performance, minimize my injury, and allow me to compete at my best. When the difference between a win and a loss can be just a fraction of an inch, perfect alignment in all joints is essential. One of the great things about the team at SLO Wellness is no matter where I had an issue, whether it was my spine, my foot, knee, wrist, or shoulder, they were always able to help. This team, made up of Dr. Rex and Molly Stevens, Dr. Sachs, and Dr. Bandolo, is sure to help you reach your health and fitness goals too. If it's chiropractic care you need, go where I go, SLO Wellness Center. Check them out at slowwellness.com or call 543-8688.
Folks, when it comes to the health of my teeth, I will not compromise, and neither should you. It's time you go where my wife and I go see Dr. Ryan Ross. I get it. Not everyone loves a dentist, and heck, even a few of you out there are scared to death of these offices. Bad past experiences? Well, you ever had a bad haircut? How about a bad meal somewhere? You didn't stop getting your haircut, and you certainly didn't stop eating, so stop ignoring your teeth. Dr. Ross's gentle approach, calming demeanor, and office full of upbeat staff put your dental fears to rest. Conveniently located in a great little house on Marsh Street downtown, Dr. Ross's office exudes the highest level of professionalism, mixed with an atmosphere much like your own home. Look, nobody's in a rush here. It's not a get 'em in, get 'em out atmosphere. Every time I'm in Dr. Ross's office, it's like I'm the only guy that matters. No distractions, just full focus on my oral health. If you're interested in the highest quality in dental care and want to walk out of the office every time with a smile, call Dr. Ryan Ross today, 541-5800.
My name is Chris Randolph, and as a local track and field Olympic hopeful, I've been seeing Brian Quigley at SLO Wellness Center to help me with injury recovery during my season. Brian has not only helped me with some very extensive injuries, but has also educated me on the specifics of how my body moves when I compete. His knowledge and touch has helped me achieve personal bests in my competition and has also helped me in injury prevention. Becoming a wellness patient of his has helped me stop my injuries before they start, making time spent recovering shorter, leaving more time spent training for my goals. From injury prevention to wellness, Brian understands the patient and holistically helps them achieve their personal health-related goals. So check out Brian Quigley at peakperformanceslo.com and find him on Facebook and comment a response to this ad and get a complimentary 60-minute massage.
Tired of taking supplements when you have no idea if they're working or not? Frustrated by not feeling or seeing measurable results with your vitamins? Looking for a new job or a little extra spending money? Do you know anyone with headaches, chronic pain, inflammation, autoimmune disease, or any other malady they just can't shake? Come learn about a breakthrough product that is scientifically supported, plant-based, and is used daily all over the world to combat age-related disease. Learn how this product is the only one of its kind on the publicly traded market to address the fundamental causes of accelerated aging, otherwise known as oxidative stress. If you want to learn how to reduce inflammation, save money by eliminating 90% of your supplement regime, and provide residual income for your family, call 805-234-7816. No gimmicks, just hardcore science on free radicals, antioxidants, and oxidative stress finally being revealed accurately and honestly. Call today to find out more. That's 805-234-7816.
Puma Aquatics team offers year-round swim programming for novice, recreational, and competitive swimmers. For 16 years, Puma has developed some of the fastest swimmers on the Central Coast, as well as the nation. Puma has 3 convenient locations to choose from, providing programming for all of San Luis Obispo County. Puma offers swim assessments for new swimmers on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the SLO Kennedy Club, Atascadero Kennedy Club, and Arroyo Grande High School. For more information about Puma Aquatics, check out pumaswim.org. Join the Puma Pride and challenge yourself to reach new levels in your swimming. Puma Aquatics, where pride, passion, and persistence pay off.
The ultimate choice for sports massage in SLO County? Peak Performance. Conveniently located at SLO Wellness Center just blocks from Cal Poly is ready to assist you to reach your personal best. Calling all athletes and fitness enthusiasts. If you're ready to start alleviating symptoms by addressing the true problems, if you are seeking efficient and effective body work, then you can count on Peak Performance. Nagging injury, losing the bounce in your step, pain or tightness keeping you from training hard and reaching your goals? Raise your standards, raise your expectations. Call Peak Performance 543-8688.
We're back with Living the Run.
Welcome back to Living the Run. In studio here, Paul, with Gabriel Frank. You were talking his ear off right off the bat, trying to figure
out my trees. They look good, and then they're just quitters, you know?
And then they're just quitters.
They get some buds on, and oh, man, look at that flowers coming in. Oh, look, they got some good-looking stuff. And then it's like, I go out one day, and I'm like, what happened to my tree? Where'd you go?
If you're just tuning in, follow us on livingtherun.com. We're talking everything health and fitness. Gabe, that's the first question. You know, for no other way to ask it, what's the dirt on dirt? You know, when we really get down to it, people complaining about too much clay in their soil. People complaining like Paul Tarek about too much sand.
Too much sand. It's just sand. It's just I'm not complaining about too much.
Sand.
I just
too
have
much sand in their soil.
Right.
What is the lowdown on dirt, and how do we convert dirt to make it appropriate so that the edibles start to come out, the flowers start to come out, and they sustain?
Right. We're trying to just cultivate vitality. I think that's the key. Robust soil.
Robust, and hey, that's living the run, right? We're trying to cultivate vitality in our life. Right. Soil, very much like our cellular makeup, maybe in the intestine, etc. Talk about how do we do that? How do we do that in the clay? How do we do that in the sand? Is it viable? Is it can we do it without having to break the bank? What do people have to do?
It's great. It's kind of like an open medium. So whether you have clay or sand, it needs the right amount of nutrients and kind of working to break it up. So Paul, you have sand. It's kind of like
want some? Make a deal.
You have a dune. So I call it gardening on a dune. I live in Morro Bay, so I'm same scenario.
Similar.
So sand is great. It drains, but it drains too well. So it doesn't hold nutrients or water well. So you really got to amend it heavily. Lots of compost. So all the green bins in the county that we throw green waste into, they take it and they put it in windrows and they break it down to this black, rich, crumbly stuff. So that's what you got to bring in really to amend that. You can home compost, but you kind of to kickstart it, you need a pile, like a little small mountain of it.
It'd be awkward if I started like home composting by fertilizing my own yard in the morning.
Yeah.
Well,
my neighbors would look at me all
fine.
What? Hey, I'm fertilizing. Get away from me.
Well, interesting point. One of the frustrating things out there for people, they hear about the composting, Gabe. They want to try to do it themselves. One of the things I hear the most is, I got bugs everywhere. Right. How do they get it so that they get that balance early, so that they don't have the gnats everywhere, the flies, all the things that then pretty much discourages them, and then they stop along the compost route and never get to that true good quality dirt.
Right. It's some work. It really is. To truly do it right, it's some work, and you do have to turn it. And I always recommend not putting it right off your porch. You want to leave it some room, and leave it in a place where your dog isn't running, and it does have to be a little bit contained.
Yeah, no. How about this? Worms or no worms? Everybody wants to know, does your compost pile have worms? What's the difference between the worm piles, the non-worm piles? Is there advantages or disadvantages to either?
I think worms are great. I've never added them because they just come. It's just food that they're after. So if you have a good nutrient source, the worms are going to come on their own.
He's like Field of Dreams for the worm population.
Exactly.
If I build it, they will come.
Yeah. So you don't need to buy worms. If you're providing a good mix of green and brown nutrients, they'll just show up to the party.
So we talked about sand. Again, talking to Gabriel Frank from Gardens by Gabriel. Look at gardensbygabriel.com for some tremendous examples. Again, design guys. They put these things together. A lot of resources. We'll talk about some of that more. But you talked about sand draining too much. The clay soil, like at my house, takes on a little bit too much water, right? Holds on a little bit too much water. One of the prime things people screw up is they over water, right, in the clay. Similar strategies here to get the dirt right here in St. Louis?
Right. Yeah, the clay is great because the clay actually holds nutrients well. It's a good base for them, but the drainage is the low point, so it actually doesn't drain well and can tend to rot things. So what we do is just provide contours in the soil, and they can be natural contours. You dig out a low area for the water to go to, and you mound up a high area so the roots can drain off. So easy is you can always shuttle water into different areas for crops that need more water, and you keep your stuff that wants to dry out a little bit more up higher.
Now, you're not, you talk about like in sandy soil, amending it to add those things. There's no way to add clay or things that are going to retain moisture into the soil outside, or is there a way to do that?
Yeah, no. They make mixes that actually have clay in them to hold more moisture and to hold nutrients.
Take my kids' Play-Doh and stick it out in the yard.
So you don't need just compost. They add some clay. It's an organic mix. There's like wood shavings, there's some topsoil, some mushroom compost. It's all just kind of partially decomposed organic components.
So we were talking before we started here on the break, and one of the things you were saying was there's really not much with the the climate we have here. There's really not much you can't grow here. And I mean, again, the health and fitness kind of like this. It's not one of these things where you just like do it one time and it's good and I can leave it alone. Oh, I'm going to pay you to come out. You set up my garden and I never have to touch it and I can pick fruit all day long. But you said there's so much we can grow out here. Let's talk about some of those things, because there are so many people here that are involved and really excited about, growing their own stuff, but they just don't know where to start.
Right. Yeah, the thing, so coastal climate is different. We're on the coast. So fog belt, where it stays cool in the summer, the things that do excellent year-round are greens. So all the great leafy greens like kale, chard, lettuces, where it stays cool, you can grow things throughout the year and they don't bolt and go to seed nearly as quick. So when it gets hot, even in Slow, or especially in North County, those crops are done. They're annuals and they want to go and reproduce quickly, and you're basically a very short season. So you can replant successive sowings of things all throughout the summer. And the winter, same thing. So we can't grow as much like stone fruit that takes a lot of sun energy and warmth on the coast. More Slow is more oranges, peaches, apricots, all that thing that need a ton of sun and warmth. On the coast, we're like green supreme. So year-round, you can really do greens. And trade with someone in Slow that does more of the fruit.
Take all my trees to Rex's house, and then I can go there for my fruit.
No question, I'm not coming to your house. But anyway, here's I think this is a big question because everybody thinks, hey, I'm behind. I don't have time. I've gotten myself. Am I too late in the season? It's May now, Gabe. Can people still be planting? Can they still expect to get nice crop in the summertime, if they will, and into that fall?
It's never too late. That's what our climate is so forgiving. I planted greens in February last year, the dead middle of winter, and I just harvested broccoli from it, a month ago. All my lettuces, and then you plant a new crop. So really, no, there's still a bunch of starts available. Tremendous variety at Farm Supply and wherever you're at in North County, Bay Laurel, Miners, small farms. There's a bunch of them. So you can get already starts. It helps with the success rate to already get a little plug that's 2 inches tall. You can do seed if you have a little bit of experience, but plugs are kind of the way to start to get a jump on it.
That's good stuff. We're going to talk with more with Gabe after the break. Got to take a quick break, but we want to talk a little bit about some of the pitfalls that we hear about all the time. People running into bugs, people running into different things, maybe some strategies around it. And then again, where Gardens by Gabriel changes the kind of the mold with respect to how to create landscapes that, not only produce the oasis that you want, but also, very conscious of what's going on in the earth. Certainly changes around there, changes in energy, changes in heat, changes in weather patterns, etc. Kind of want to look at that too and make sure that mold meets each client where they're at. I know Gabe's the guru at doing that. So more with Gabe from Gardens by Gabriel. You can find more about them at gardensbygabriel.com after the break.
You're listening to Living the Ride on ESPN Radio 1280 The Ticket.
Hey guys, Paul Tarek from Living the Run here. As a former Olympian, there is only one place myself and fellow athletes go when it comes to chiropractic care on the Central Coast. With 4 chiropractors in the clinic, Slow Wellness Center is the largest, most comprehensive group of docs in San Luis Obispo County. I began seeing Dr. Rex Stevens back in 2005 for spinal adjustments to help maximize my performance, minimize my injury, and allow me to compete at my best. When the difference between a win and a loss can be just a fraction of an inch, perfect alignment in all joints is essential. One of the great things about the team at Slow Wellness is no matter where I had an issue, whether it was my spine, my foot, knee, wrist, or shoulder, they were always able to help. This team, made up of Dr. Rex and Molly Stevens, Dr. Sachs, and Dr. Bandolo, is sure to help you reach your health and fitness goals too. If it's chiropractic care you need, go where I go, Slow Wellness Center. Check them out at slowwellness.com or call 543-8688.
Folks, when it comes to the health of my teeth, I will not compromise, and neither should you. It's time you go where my wife and I go. Go see Dr. Ryan Ross. I get it. Not everyone loves a dentist, and heck, even a few of you out there are scared to death of these offices. Bad past experiences? Well, you ever had a bad haircut? How about a bad meal somewhere? You didn't stop getting your haircut, and you certainly didn't stop eating, so stop ignoring your teeth. Dr. Ross's gentle approach, calming demeanor, and office full of upbeat staff put your dental fears to rest. Conveniently located in a great little house on Marsh Street downtown, Dr. Ross's office exudes the highest level of professionalism, mixed with an atmosphere much like your own home. Look, nobody's in a rush here. It's not a get 'em in, get 'em out atmosphere. Every time I'm in Dr. Ross's office, it's like I'm the only guy that matters. No distractions, just full focus on my oral health. If you're interested in the highest quality in dental care and want to walk out of the office every time with a smile, call Dr. Ryan Ross today, 541-5800.
My name is Chris Randolph, and as a local track and field Olympic hopeful, I've been seeing Brian Quigley at Slow Wellness Center to help me with injury recovery during my season. Brian has not only helped me with some very extensive injuries, but has also educated me on the specifics of how my body moves when I compete. His knowledge and touch has helped me achieve personal bests in my competition and has also helped me in injury prevention. Becoming a wellness patient of his has helped me stop my injuries before they start, making time spent recovering shorter, leaving more time spent training for my goals. From injury prevention to wellness, Brian understands the patient and holistically helps them achieve their personal health-related goals. So check out Brian Quigley at peakperformanceslo.com and find him on Facebook and comment a response to this ad and get a complimentary 60-minute massage.
Tired of taking supplements when you have no idea if they're working or not? Frustrated by not feeling or seeing measurable results with your vitamins? Looking for a new job or a little extra spending money? Do you know anyone with headaches, chronic pain, inflammation, autoimmune disease, or any other malady they just can't shake? Come learn about a breakthrough product that is scientifically supported, plant-based, and is used daily all over the world to combat age-related disease. Learn how this product is the only one of its kind on the publicly traded market to address the fundamental causes of accelerated aging, otherwise known as oxidative stress. If you want to learn how to reduce inflammation, save money by eliminating 90% of your supplement regime, and provide residual income for your family, call 805-234-7816. No gimmicks, just hardcore science on free radicals, antioxidants, and oxidative stress finally being revealed accurately and honestly. Call today to find out more. That's 805-234-7816.
Puma Aquatics team offers year-round swim programming for novice, recreational, and competitive swimmers. For 16 years, Puma has developed some of the fastest swimmers on the Central Coast, as well as the nation. Puma has 3 convenient locations to choose from, providing programming for all of San Luis Obispo County. Puma offers swim assessments for new swimmers on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Slow Kennedy Club, Atascadero Kennedy Club, and Arroyo Grande High School. For more information about Puma Aquatics, check out pumaswim.org. Join the Puma Pride and challenge yourself to reach new levels in your swimming. Puma Aquatics, where pride, passion, and persistence pay off.
The ultimate choice for sports massage in Slow County? Peak Performance. Conveniently located at Slow Wellness Center just blocks from Cal Poly is ready to assist you to reach your personal best. Calling all athletes and fitness enthusiasts. If you're ready to start alleviating symptoms by addressing the true problems, if you are seeking efficient and effective body work, then you can count on Peak Performance. Nagging injury, losing the bounce in your step, pain or tightness keeping you from training hard and reaching your goals? Raise your standards, raise your expectations. Call Peak Performance 543-8688.
We're back with Living the Run.
As usual, the breaks are oftentimes more entertaining than the show.
I'm sure listeners are like, no, it can't possibly be.
Olympian Paul Tarek at it as usual. Hey, stay tuned next for the CJ Silas Show right here on ESPN 1280 The Ticket. And Paul, what kind of guests did she having in 2 weeks? Did you say adequate?
Well, I asked. She said it was big, and I said big or just adequate, and she said huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
2 weeks on the CJ Silas Show. You're not going to miss that 7 o'clock. And then don't forget, you late birds, stay up for the Slow Late Show, 10 o'clock right here on ESPN 1280.
It may be worth mentioning. She didn't just say huge. She said in the top 10 of people she would ever want to interview. And I mean, and you think of all the guests she's had and the people she would want to interview, so it's got to be pretty big.
Paul, were you ever on that list?
Well, I mean, it depends how big. You talk about the top 10 list or just any list? Because I'm sure there was some list at some point on some page in a different volume.
Yeah, is it kind of like the baseball draft that just goes on for 4 weeks?
Month, a month.
They draft 40,000 players.
Yeah.
Oh
man, sweet! I got drafted. Oh, really? When did you get drafted? Oh, I got drafted in the 97th round. Oh, what'd you get? $8, and they bought me lunch. It was really sweet. Great times.
Hey, we've had in studio. We've been fortunate to have Gabriel Frank from Gardens by Gabriel picking his brain on what to do with our landscapes. Gabe, one of the things is that people often get frustrated because they're putting stuff in the ground. They come out and the rodents grab it, the insects grab it. Are there foolproof ways around these things? Different people, you read different things. And, I know my father-in-law, classic, he's frustrated as can be up there. He's up in Paso, out by Lake Nacimiento. A lot of rodents out there. You got deer. You got all kinds of stuff. Are there ways around this stuff that are, one, expense-proof a little bit and, actually work?
Yeah, you do have to share some. Well, you have to share. It can't all be your bounty. So it's a little bit of an attitude change. Every once in a while, a gopher's gonna grab your chard. It just happens that way. So there are prep. Prep is key. So we do actually do a lot of stuff in gopher baskets. You plant a root cage with every tree. It's a pretty inexpensive thing. You pay $5 for a cage. You dig your hole a little bit bigger, and that's it. Really, it's an initial that gophers love those fresh, tender roots, so they hit stuff when it's young. So if you can protect it for that first 5 years, roots are going to grow out of the basket, but you've protected your core, so it's not as appetizing after they're all hard and woody.
5 years, people try it for 5 days. They get excited. They can keep it for 5 days. Hey, Gabe, I want to give you the platform. Here's the big question. What does Gardens by Gabriel do exceptionally well? Why should people use Gardens by Gabriel? I know why, because I've seen the work. Your crew's phenomenal. Neat people. They've been at my next-door neighbor's house, Paul. Awesome folks, good guys, and they just do brilliant stuff and on a lot of different fashions. But you tell me, what do you think, when you got into this whole thing, what did you want to do to bring to the next level in your field besides just your innate guru wisdom and love for plants and the earth?
I think there's this kind of just bounty of botanical gems that exist and people don't know about them. So the people that are plant nerds or enthusiasts like me, I wanted to bring that to people and make it accessible. So you talk about the availability in our county of all these amazing edible things we can grow, all the great Mediterranean palette things we can grow. Succulents. It just is a huge gamut. So what we like to do is set people up for success, create these cool one-of-a-kind environments, and it's different for everyone. And that's what makes it kind of fun. Your neighbor has more of kind of like, they wanted a tropical-inspired garden, but one that isn't tropical in water needs. It's a more Mediterranean-style garden with a little tropical flair here and there. So having that plant knowledge kind of allows you to make that mix and have it be sustainable.
Yeah, no question. Nobody has more plant knowledge than this guy, Paul. One thing you just mentioned there was water. Water's a big deal. Obviously, water's a big deal for our health. We've talked a lot about that when we exercise, etc. It's a big deal not to waste as well. Talk about what you did. You did it a year ago or 2 years ago. You tried something. I remember how few times you could set up a landscape to see how few times you could water, how little water you could use, just using gray water systems, etc. Right. I believe. But talk about that water system you set up. I mean, you hardly watered it all, and I'm telling you go to his house, you talk Oasis, Paul. That place was amazing. He's got more species of plants than you can imagine.
Right. So it got watered quarterly. That's once every 4 months. So it was neat. It was an established garden, so it takes you putting in about 3 to 4 years. But I watered it with a sprinkler quarterly. So those are Mediterranean plants. They're succulent plants that are adapted to that dry climate, and they store water in their tissues. So they're prepared for drought. So it's more about plant selection, choosing things that are adapted to our environment.
Now, because of where we live, Rex, you just talked about something that we've hit on before, but gray water systems. I didn't know about them until I moved out here, and not a lot of people do know about them. Do you deal with gray water systems?
It's an awesome resource.
Can you explain that?
Yeah. So gray water is just water that's been used once by either your washer. It's been ran through your sink, your tub. Lately.
Everything but your toilet, essentially.
Everything but your toilet is black water. So pretty much everything but your toilet, is usable water after. And we highly sanitize this water only to do things like wash our hands or, really water your vegetable garden with completely potable water.
It's brilliant. It's a great resource. And when you see it done, especially now, this is a terrible year. Worst year in over 100 years or so as far as rain up to this point during the year. We get a couple more like this, it's going to be a fight out there. We got to use resources like Gabe to help us learn how to use our own water in our house a lot more resourcefully.
Yeah, we've been talking about that at our house. We're on especially on a raised foundation. It changes on a raised foundation are so easy to make. How much water we can get out, where we can put it at, and just using gravity feed. You might have to have a small little fountain pump running off a solar panel or something. But small little pump to pump it up, and then gravity feed. Just a small amount of pressure can distribute it all throughout a drip system. I was totally unaware of all this. I was really happy to find out.
Yeah, we just hooked one up at my house. We did a system a couple weeks ago that was Tobin's system, former member.
Tobin, yeah.
His whole moved into a new place, and they plumbed it from the beginning. So you can retrofit them, but from the beginning it's really easy. So they plumbed in their tub, which their kids bathe in almost every night, pile into this big jacuzzi tub, and then it drains and feeds this whole screen that we did all on the back of their property. 120-foot screen. So the tub hits it on one part, the lower area, and then their washer goes upper to the upper spot, and they kind of meet in the middle.
Now, do you have it so basically when they use the tub or the washer or something, it's basically watering right then, or does it go to say a storage barrel or something and then out from there, or can you do them that way, or what do you recommend?
You don't want to hold gray water because it has particulate in it. It's got organic matter, so you want to outlet it immediately. So when you use it, it's in the garden. So whether you gravity feed or use a small pump, you want to push it out.
Hey, hang tight real quick. We take one more break. We'll come right back, get the last couple words from Gabriel Frank, Gardens by Gabriel. Stick with us.
You're listening to Living the Ride on ESPN Radio 1280 The Ticket.
Hey guys, Paul Tarek from Living the Run here. As a former Olympian, there is only one place myself and fellow athletes go when it comes to chiropractic care on the Central Coast. With 4 chiropractors in the clinic, Slow Wellness Center is the largest, most comprehensive group of docs in San Luis Obispo County. I began seeing Dr. Rex Stevens back in 2005 for spinal adjustments to help maximize my performance, minimize my injury, and allow me to compete at my best. When the difference between a win and a loss can be just a fraction of an inch, perfect alignment in all joints is essential. One of the great things about the team at Slow Wellness is no matter where I had an issue, whether it was my spine, my foot, knee, wrist, or shoulder, they were always able to help. This team, made up of Dr. Rex and Molly Stevens, Dr. Sachs, and Dr. Bandolo, is sure to help you reach your health and fitness goals too. If it's chiropractic care you need, go where I go, Slow Wellness Center. Check them out at slowwellness.com or call 543-8688.
Folks, when it comes to the health of my teeth, I will not compromise, and neither should you. It's time you go where my wife and I go see Dr. Ryan Ross. I get it. Not everyone loves a dentist, and heck, Even a few of you out there are scared to death of these offices. Bad past experiences? Well, you ever had a bad haircut? How about a bad meal somewhere? You didn't stop getting your haircut, and you certainly didn't stop eating, so stop ignoring your teeth. Dr. Ross's gentle approach, calming demeanor, and office full of upbeat staff puts your dental fears to rest. Conveniently located in a great little house on Marsh Street downtown, Dr. Ross's office exudes the highest level of professionalism, mixed with an atmosphere much like your own home. Look, nobody's in a rush here. It's not a get 'em in, get 'em out atmosphere. Every time I'm in Dr. Ross's office, it's like I'm the only guy that matters. No distractions, just full focus on my oral health. If you're interested in the highest quality in dental care and want to walk out of the office every time with a smile, call Dr. Ryan Ross today, 541-5800.
My name is Chris Randolph, and as a local track and field Olympic hopeful, I've been seeing Brian Quigley at Slow Wellness Center to help me with injury recovery during my season. Brian has not only helped me with some very extensive injuries, but has also educated me on the specifics of how my body moves when I compete. His knowledge and touch has helped me achieve personal bests in my competition and has also helped me in injury prevention. Becoming a wellness patient of his has helped me stop my injuries before they start, making time spent recovering shorter, leaving more time spent training for my goals. From injury prevention to wellness, Brian understands the patient and holistically helps them achieve their personal health-related goals. So check out Brian Quigley at peakperformanceslo.com and find him on Facebook and comment a response to this ad and get a complimentary 60-minute massage.
Tired of taking supplements when you have no idea if they're working or not? Frustrated by not feeling or seeing measurable results with your vitamins? Looking for a new job or a little extra spending money? Do you know anyone with headaches, chronic pain, inflammation, autoimmune disease, or any other malady they just can't shake? Come learn about a breakthrough product that is scientifically supported, plant-based, and is used daily all over the world to combat age-related disease. Learn how this product is the only one of its kind on the publicly traded market to address the fundamental causes of accelerated aging, otherwise known as oxidative stress. If you want to learn how to reduce inflammation, save money by eliminating 90% of your supplement regime, and provide residual income for your family, call 805-234-7816. No gimmicks, just hardcore science on free radicals, antioxidants, and oxidative stress finally being revealed accurately and honestly. Call today to find out more. That's 805-234-7816.
Puma Aquatics team offers year-round swim programming for novice, recreational, and competitive swimmers. For 16 years, Puma has developed some of the fastest swimmers on the Central Coast, as well as the nation. Puma has 3 convenient locations to choose from, providing programming for all of San Luis Obispo County. Puma offers swim assessments for new swimmers on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the SLO Kennedy Club, Atascadero Kennedy Club, and Arroyo Grande High School. For more information about Puma Aquatics, check out pumaswim.org. Join the Puma Pride and challenge yourself to reach new levels in your swimming. Puma Aquatics, where pride, passion, and persistence pay off.
The ultimate choice for sports massage in SLO County? Peak Performance. Conveniently located at SLO Wellness Center just blocks from Cal Poly is ready to assist you to reach your personal best. Calling all athletes and fitness enthusiasts. If you're ready to start alleviating symptoms by addressing the true problems, if you are seeking efficient and effective body work, then you can count on Peak Performance. Nagging injury, losing the bounce in your step, pain or tightness keeping you from training hard and reaching your goals? Raise your standards, raise your expectations. Call Peak Performance 543-8688.
We're back with Living the Run.
Up against the clock, Paul Tarek. No Max Woodcock, not as good on time. We're joined right now by Ryan Joyner, Athlon Elite. Every week we get you tips and takeaways from Ryan Joyner. As always, gives us something great to do the next day. Ryan, tell us a little bit about charity event you're involved in.
Coming up on Saturday, May 17th. That's not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. We're hosting our 3rd annual Push-Ups for Charity to benefit the Boot Campaign, which is a charitable organization that's dedicated to helping returning men and women of the armed services, injured men and women of the armed services, providing them with, of course, physical rehabilitation, mental rehabilitation, helping them buy houses, supporting the spouses of a deceased veteran. So the Boot Campaign is an amazing charity. Bootcampaign.com. And we're hosting a contest, a 90-second contest, as many push-ups as you can do in 90 seconds to raise money for these wounded vets. we are hoping to get as many people out as possible. And if you don't feel you can do push-ups, then we'd love to see it at least make a donation. And you can do that at pushupsforcharity.com. And that's where you sign up. If you go to pushupsforcharity.com, you can see a little short video of what we're doing and why we're doing it. It's actually a really cool video. And then that's about what can you do in 90 seconds. And you can do a lot in 90 seconds to help some of these wounded vets.
Hey, love that stuff. Love that stuff. Pushupsforcharity.com, right, Ryan?
Yep, pushupsforcharity.com, Athlon, May 17th. Check it out, sign up, come join us.
Sounds like a good thing for Olympian Paul Tarek. Hey, thanks a ton, Ryan. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Hey, as always, let's close real quick. Tips and takeaways here on the show. Paul Tarek, great having Gabriel Frank in this show. I haven't seen this excited in a long time with a guest in. You're talking his ear off in the break, Paul.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my garden going. Tips and takeaways, I think learn to share your bounty. It applies not only gardening, but life in general.
Learn to share your bounty.
Yeah.
Gabe, thanks for joining us. Give us a quick tip here.
Compost. Feed the soil, feed yourself.
Compost, feed your soil, feed yourself. Hey, remember to listen to us always here at 6 o'clock on ESPN 1280 The Ticket. The CJ Silas Show next. We'll drop that. And don't forget, Gardens by Gabriel. Find him, gardensbygabriel.com. Say how much you love your mother this Sunday. Happy Mother's Day on Sunday to y'all out there.